Have you ever thought about what happens when a weekend trip, something meant to heal old wounds, just ends up ripping open brand new ones? Well, today, we're going to break down a really chilling story where grief literally becomes a doorway for an unimaginable evil. We've got 3 friends, a super secluded guest house, and one terrible mistake. Let's get into it.
Right from the get-go, the story hits you with this seriously haunting imagery. It just immediately sets a tone of absolute dread. You read that and you just know something ancient and probably very powerful is waiting in the shadows.
Okay, so let's meet our main characters. We've got 3 college friends, Ashish, Payal, and Surbi. And they're planning what's supposed to be a totally normal, innocent weekend trip to a guest house in a little town called Barabanki. On the surface, it's just a break from the city.
Yeah, their goal is super simple. Just get out of the city, breathe some fresh air, relax. Who wouldn't want that, right? But come on, this is a horror story. And simple plans in lonely places, they never, ever stay simple for long.
But here's where things start to go sideways. Surbi, she has a little secret she's adding to the trip. She goes and orders a Ouija board without telling anyone. In her mind, it's just a fun game. But she has no idea that this one little decision is basically the key that's about to unlock a total nightmare.
So while they're making all these plans, there's this newspaper just lying on the table. It's a detail that is so easy to miss, but this is the story's first big flashing warning sign, a major clue to the tragedy that they are literally about to drive right into.
Now, to really get what happens next, you gotta understand what's going on with Ashish. He's carrying around some heavy stuff. He's got a rough relationship with his dad, and he's dealing with the really raw grief of his mom dying recently. The only thing he has left of her, really, is this little protective talisman she gave him. This grief, it doesn't just make him sad. It basically puts a giant target on his back.
Okay, so the plans are set, bags are packed, and they hit the road. But this journey turns out to be the first real sign that this is no ordinary getaway. They are definitely not alone out there.
Ashish has this gut feeling. He wants to take the route they all know. But Payal pushes for the Provincial Expressway because it's faster. And here's the kicker. In a moment of just tragic irony, they end up driving on the exact same highway where that poor kid from the newspaper headline was killed. The odds of that are just chilling.
So, picture this. It's late, it's dark, Ashish is driving, he's totally exhausted, and then bam! He slams on the brakes. His heart is pounding because he's staring at a small child, standing completely alone in the middle of this dark road looking right at their car. It's impossible, but he sees it.
But of course, when Payal and Surbi wake up from the sudden stop, there's nothing there. The road is empty. They just laugh it off, teasing him, "Oh, Ashish, you're just tired, you're seeing things." And this moment is so crucial because it completely dismisses his terror and makes him feel totally alone. It plants that first seed of doubt, not in what he saw, but in his own sanity. So, they finally make it to the guest house, and Ashish is still completely rattled by what happened on the road. And it's here, in this place where they're supposed to feel safe, that Surbi finally reveals her surprise. Yeah, the Ouija board. So they all sit down, they do the whole ritual, hands on the planchette, they chant this little incantation to call a spirit. The air is just thick with that mix of nervous excitement and, a little bit of genuine fear. And then, it happens. The planchette starts to move. Slowly, letter by letter, it spells out a name. S-O-N-A. Sona. Now for Payal and Surbi, this means nothing. It's just a name. But for Ashish, his whole world just stops. Sona was his mother's name. You can just imagine. Ashish is absolutely floored. For him, this isn't some silly game anymore. This is real. This is his mother, reaching out to him from beyond the grave. He's so desperate to connect with her, so lost in his grief, that he doesn't even think to question it. When he asks, "Mom, is that you?" and that little piece slides over to yes, well, for him, that's all the proof he needs. But then, the whole vibe in the room just changes. His hands are still on the planchette, and it starts moving again, spelling out a different word this time. B-A-C-H-U-W-A. Bachuwa. A cold dread just washes over them because they all instantly connect this name to the kid Ashish saw on the highway.
And the board isn't done. It spells out 2 more words. Temple, and then break. Okay, so this right here is the absolute turning point. It all comes down to Ashish's interpretation. He's seeing all this through the painful lens of his grief, and he pieces the puzzle together. All wrong. He believes his mother is warning them about the evil spirit of this child, Bachuwa, and telling them they need to go to a nearby temple and break a lock to defeat him.
And that's it. They're convinced. They're not just playing a game anymore. They are on a mission from his mom. They race out of the guest house, thinking they're about to defeat a demon. They have absolutely no clue that they're walking right into a trap, playing a game where the rules were written by the very evil they think they're fighting.
So they get to this temple, and sure enough, there it is. A huge, holy trident, all wrapped up in these heavy chains with a big old lock on it. To Ashish, this is like, see, I told you. It's the final confirmation he thinks he needs. He believes they're in exactly the right place. But just as Ashish gets close with a hammer ready to smash the lock, the spirit of that little boy, Bachuwa, appears again. He's frantic. He's trying to stop them, to push them away from the trident, to protect it. But in their panicked state, all they see is the enemy they were warned about.
And this is the moment it all goes horribly, horribly wrong. They fight off the boy, they smash the lock, and they break the chains. But instead of a spirit vanishing, a terrifying woman in a red sari emerges, freed from her prison. They didn't trap a demon, they just let one out.
In that single horrifying instant, they realize they have made a catastrophic mistake. The story now flips on its head. It's not about hunting a ghost anymore. It's about running for their lives as the real, awful truth finally comes to light.
So they race back to the house, terrified, and they go back to the Ouija board one last time. And this is the massive twist that changes everything. The spirit wasn't S-O-N-A, his mother. It was S-O-N-A-M, Sonam, a malevolent ghost, the very same one that killed their friend Divyant years ago. And Bachuwa, the little boy, he was never the threat. He was the guardian, the protector, who's trying to keep her locked away.
So, in the final confrontation, Sonam's spirit attacks and she is furious. But now, with his eyes finally open to the truth, Ashish sees Bachuwa's ghost, and the boy isn't attacking. He's pointing like crazy at that unbound trident. And it all clicks. It wasn't just a prison, it's a holy weapon. Ashish seizes it, and, guided by the true protector, he destroys the evil that he himself had set free.
The story of Bachuwa just leaves you with this deeply unsettling question. It's a terrifying reminder of how our own grief can make us blind, leading us to trust the voices we want to hear instead of the ones telling us the truth. So I'll leave you with this. What if the greatest danger isn't the monster you see hiding in the shadows, but the one you've mistaken for a friend?